Okay, so there is a witness. And just so I can see what's going on, and then we'll put whatever needs to be put on the record. What's the issue?
So Judge, the issue with this is that, at least from the state's understanding, is that this is going to be similar to what happened with Officer Mendez. Is that the defendant is going to ask the officer who was at the hospital his opinion on whether or not, on the state of the case, in essence, whether or not he thought it was self-defense, and whether or not who the aggressor or who the victim was. So it's going to be similar to what happened yesterday.
All right, defense.
And Your Honor, it's actually more detailed than that, because as we fleshed out from Officer Mendez and from this officer, which is actually recorded on video, he specifically told one of the detectives, I've spoken with the complainant, I've read the report, and this is my opinion about what I believe is the proper viewing of this kind of case. The Mendez conversation happened much later in the situation, which was years after the fact. This was during the determination of probable cause, whether or not to arrest someone. So that's something we want to be able to get into, that even one of the officers that was at the scene is doubting that there was enough probable cause to make an arrest at that point. Now, here's the thing about the officer. It's his day off today. He's not available today or tomorrow.
Oh, he's going to be here today if he's coming.
I don't know, because I
Okay.
texted our victim advocate, and
So-
she's calling the victim liaison to see if he can.
All right, and let him know that the judge says he needs to be here.
I did already mention that.
All right, thank you.
And so the only other thing is, Your Honor, we do have another witness. However, as part of defense strategy, we would like to be able to put our witnesses in the order that is part of our strategy.
All right, so what I can tell both parties, unless there's something else that's going to be presented to the court, witnesses are not going to be allowed to testify as to whether or not they thought this was self-defense or not, whether or not they thought this was justified or not. That's something for the jury to make their determination of.
And so, Your Honor, that being said, he can still make a testimony about a statement he made regarding probable cause, whether or not that's something that has been brought to the attention of everybody at this point. So without giving a full picture to the jury, it's leaving a false impression with them as to whether or not everybody who's working this case believes there's probable cause. Second, we need him to be here. So if
No, I mean, he can be here, but I'm just saying, I am not going to allow him to testify whether or not he thought this was self-defense or whether or not he thought this was justified. That's for the jury to determine. But if there are other issues that parties want him to talk about, of course, we will see where the road takes us.
Okay.
But he's not going to be allowed to talk about what this jury is here to decide.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So they're trying to find out where this witness is. So if you could let the jury know.
Judge, a call was made to him, but he didn't answer. And
Tell them to text him and tell them to put in the text that he's needed as a witness in a case that is currently happening. And the judge would greatly appreciate him showing up. And let him know that if he's not showing up today, then we will see him on Saturday. I don't like for a jury just to be wondering. So do y'all want me to inform the jury that maybe there's a witness that's stuck in traffic or something of that nature? Because I don't like it to seem as though it's the defense's fault or the state's fault. But I know they're asking for time and they're going to be upset if we say, oh, 1:30 or.
I understand, Your Honor. I'm trying to come up with a good thing.
I can say that there's a transportation issue with the witness.
I think that's fine. I think it's general enough.
All right. So are you all okay with me letting the deputy let them know that there is a transportation issue with the witness? And we are hoping to have them here as quickly as possible. and that they are in contact with us. All right, if you could let them know there's a transportation issue with the witness. All right, thank you.
Investigative team. Delivered evidence to an emergency situation. So I know that
It can be done.
it can be done. Investigators can go and knock on somebody's door and say, hi, you are needed right now.
All right, you can meet us. All right, so everybody, we're just going to take a recess. So just make sure you all are available and we'll see when the witness gets here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Oh, and defense. Approximately, not holding you to anything. How many witnesses are you anticipating?
2, Your Honor.
2. Okay,